So this week has been all about preserving culture and tradition as South Africans have been celebrating their heritage. Here in Johannesburg at the George Goch Hostel, a Zulu cultural festival is actually underway as we speak. The celebration, known as Indishi, is a rite of passage and involves fathers honoring their daughters who have come of age and remained untouched. Let's go live now to eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu, who is at the George Goch Hostel there and following the ceremony as it's unfolding. Manqoba, just looking at the visuals before we went to air, it's quite fascinating. And I'm going to ask you to do your best to explain it as best as you can, translating the concepts in between the languages. Is it courtship? And what is the role of this, of money and gifts in this courtship? And also, I suppose the other thing I'm curious about is once this courtship has taken place and this conversation has happened between these young men and these young women, is it a done deal that they're now in a relationship, or is it just about it being, ceremonial and sort of symbolic and nothing more is meant by it?
Well, Tulas, I can certainly tell you that it is all about preserving the Zulu culture, and this is a tradition that has been carried out here in the hostels for decades now, and it's a celebration of culture away from home because it happens here at the hostels in Johannesburg on every Heritage Month, where we see these events of Indishi taking place at the hostels. And what it really is about, it's also about fathers that are celebrating their daughters for good behavior, their daughters for coming of age. These are daughters who have abstained up until now, and so it's all about preserving that, sort of a culture of abstaining for these young maidens, but also it's all about courtship, Tulas, as you rightfully say, because what we are seeing here are eNCA that are here to perhaps introduce themselves to these young maidens. They are going to be asking them for a relationship if possible, and of course, coming out of that, we know, Tulas, that it's the ladies that will have to decide whether or not they do want to be in a relationship with that. So it's all about how you introduce yourself to the maiden. And of course, it doesn't come cheap. You have to also offer some money, which is known as ukunandisa, where you would put money just to ask to speak to that maiden. But of course, it's all accompanied by dance as well as many those eNCA and the maidens that are singing here, celebrating these young maidens that are here. And of course, it is a precursor to an event known as Umemulo. Take a listen to these eNCA as they sing. Well, Tulas, I can tell you that it is really a proud moment for the fathers who are celebrating their daughters. Of course, these are the young maidens that are being celebrated here today in this particular event. And these are maidens that we understand had come all the way from KwaZulu-Natal here to the hostels where their fathers are residing, of course, to be showcased by their fathers to their neighbors here in the hostel and to the izindunas here, so that the eNCA also can see these maidens, and if they want to perhaps put a word or two, they can do that. I want to go to one of the fathers here, Babu Dladla, just to get a sense from him on how he is feeling here today. Babu Dladla, ngiyazi ukuthi njengobaba uyasiqhenya kakhulu ngokuthi intombi yakho ikwazile ukuziphatha kahle. Uzizwa kanjani namhlanje ngoba kwenzeka lo mcimbi?
Hey, ngizizwa ngijabule kakhulu. Lokhu engazi ukuthi ngingakufanisa nani. Futhi ke la njoba silala nje umqalela ukuthi ngoDisemba izoyokwemula ekhaya.
ngicela ubheke ngapha nje ngakumina phezulu babudladla khona sokubona kahle busaqhubeka ukuthi ngoDisemba ziyakhala ekhaya.
Yeah, ngoDisemba ke kube sewumemulo wayo njengobila isazocimela insizweni zangakubo nasemphakathini wala khona sikhethe umuntu. Okungijabulisa kakhulu ke engingazi ukuthi ngingathini ukuthi ngithole nina bakwa TV engangazi ukuthi ngingake ngithola ithuba lokusondelana nani ey'ntweni zesizulu waphela o-TV into zesilungu.
But kusho ukuthini baba lokhu ekugcinweni kwamagugu namasiko akwaZulu kubaluleke kangakanani?
Hey, kimi kunginika injabulo enkulu futhi kunginika ukuthi nina abantu abaphethe manje abaphezulu anisenalo ubandlululo lokuthi umuntu onjani ufundile kanjani. Niyafuna ukusibambela amagugu akwaZulu onke amasiko niwaqoqe niwathelavayize.
Siyabona ke intokazi nayo iyabizwa lapha yinsizwa ziyanandisa lapha zifuna ukukhuluma nayo. Unethemba lokuthi mhlawumbe ungasuthola umkhwenyana?
Kakhulu ngoba njengoba nje ize yafika kuleli zinga ekilo nami ngangithandaza ngithi hawu umntana mengathi ngangilinda kuze kufikela ngiphumelela khona ngimemulise. Futhi ke okukhulu ke ngibonga kulamagosa aphethe manje akwazile ukuthi esondelane nani nicele nizosenzela ubuhle kumagugu akwaZulu.
Siyabonga kakhulu sifami wena just nje kancane uzizwa kanjani? Okay, well, she's a bit camera shy to us, but well, these are the festivities here at George Koch. It's something that happens here annually every September, where we see such events taking place in celebration of Zulu culture. And of course, this gentleman, or the father, saying that is very proud at the fact that her daughter has reached this level of maturity. And he says that the fact that this event is even being televised is very important for him and very key for him. I just want to show you what's happening this side as I hand it back to you in studio.
All right, that's eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu out at the George Koch hostel there at that ceremony. It's called Indishi, part of it, and it builds up to Umemulo for one of the maidens there who spoke to Manqoba in that interview brief.